Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review, and I hope you are having a great day today. Today we're going to be talking about Douglas Adams' DNA, that's right, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Interesting book. It's something I keep in my virtual pocket a lot, and it's very enjoyable. First off, the narrations were done by Stephen Fry in this book. If you're a long-time viewer, you will know Stephen Fry is kind of like my little golden boy. I really enjoy listening to the way that he brings things to life. It's really good. So, production quality of this book, much better than the original audiobook of this that I got a long time ago. Oh my god, Stephen Fry, you get the clap. You know, that really sounded a lot better up here. Now, this book, what can be said about it? What can't be said about it? It's very interesting all the way around. There's really no bad points unless you're a very serious, rigid individual that really just doesn't like comedy. Even if you don't like a good meme from time to time or a good joke from time to time, you're going to like this book. The reason why is because it hits all the major ticks. One, dystopia kind of, and then two, sci-fi, where you end up in space and going on huge, grandiose adventures. Three, the characters are at best misfits, and they are lucky if they can get through their daily activities on their own without supervision. It's just the spirit of the books altogether, and this one especially. The narrations were good, the book is enjoyable. If you haven't read it before, it's worth your time, efforts, and energies, and review done. Thank you so much for watching, it's very much appreciated. You know what to do, like, share, subscribe. Not really. So the story starts out, there's so much about this book. There's so much culture to it. There's so much lore. There's so much backstory. All these speculations and stuff about it. And Douglas Adams did an incredible job writing this book. It starts out with this character by the name of Arthur Dent, which he makes me think of characters off of like the IT Crowd or whatever. He's a very anxious, wound up individual. The counterpoint to him being the straight man is nobody else is, really, with the exception of the Vogons. Arthur is having a bad morning in a way. He wakes up and he finds out that there's a bulldozer in front of his house, and then the supervisor of the bulldozer shows up. Going back and forth with Arthur, Arthur ends up laying down in front of the bulldozer so that a bypass isn't built through his house. And, ironically enough, these big ships show up that have the best announcement PA system ever made. They tell the planet that it's getting ready to be demolished. Those are the Vogons. They're ugly, green, sluggish kind of creatures that, well, as Douglas Adams put it, evolution just kind of left behind, and they decided they didn't want to evolve any further than they had. And so they were going to build a bypass through the Earth, so they had to destroy it. So it's the Vogon destroyer fleet that's there. It's just a zany read. There's all these things, all these details, all this enrichment that's in these books that we just really don't see for the most part anymore because people don't put that effort in these days. I think it isn't a lack of imagination. I think it is that everybody is so far wrapped into this societal norm of most production, most production, most production. What all can we do? Let's work more and more and more and more. That they're not paying attention to the things that make something sing. I know that I have this thing where I like minimalism and the descriptions of things, but there's exceptions to every rule, and this is one of them. But what I don't like is when it doesn't come off proper. Well, it's just a journey, and if you've never took it before, I highly encourage you to look into it, because you never know what's going to happen from moment to moment, and for the most part it does. And that's part of what makes it so interesting. There's a couple of characters that I haven't mentioned yet, like Beeblebrox. And he's this individual that's got 3 arms, 2 heads. He has stolen this ship called the Heart of Gold. And the reason why is because it has this improbability drop. But he doesn't know why he stole it. He was the president of the known universe, and he's the most hated individual because he just doesn't care. But he's also the most loved individual by media because he does so many inane things. We've got Beeblebrox, we've got Ford, we've got Arthur, and then Trillian. Trillian is a Earth woman, like Arthur is a Earth man. Trillian got picked up by Beeblebrox. That's just the way that he is. There's all kinds of interesting things that happen as well whenever it comes to Beeblebrox and his ability to have been everywhere, it seems like. This book can be a whole lot to take in, but after you read it the first time and then you go back and you reread it, it's like, oh, wow. Where does it sit on my shelves? Well, I've got the yearly shelf where I've got the top shelf, the middle shelf, and there's kind of a thing that sits on a board and occasionally it falls. Not quite a bottom shelf. There are things that are very forgettable is my point. Then there's my long-term list, and this is certainly at the top of it. Other things that would be in the top of that long-term list for me, of course, would be like Ender's Game. The interplay between the characters, the dialogue is what really sells it. The details, sometimes to the point of absurdity. I believe the mattresses were brought up in this one. There's a point where it's talking about Arthur Dent was sitting on the mattress, and he was nervous about sitting on the mattress, but he shouldn't be because all mattresses are well dried out, and very few of them ever come back to life. This is a thing that has stuck with myself, and I know that Scraps, he's mentioned it to me as well. The idea of these mattresses frolicking and the sounds that they make as they frolic around is beautifully funny. In these times, we need something that's going to bring us some joy and some laughter, and I hope that this book, if you do decide to pick it up, will give that to you, because we all need a good laugh from time to time, especially right now as we move from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to The Restaurant at the End of the Galaxy, and So Long for Thanks for All the Fish, etc., etc. All these books, they all have this candid stuff in it that is just so good. Check it out if you haven't. I highly recommend it. So what are we going to be talking about next? The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, more than likely, because I bought both of them back to back. The Restaurant at the End of the Universe is actually narrated by somebody else altogether, so we'll see how we feel about that. So, questions, comments, concerns, feel free down there in the comment section. Do your thing. We will get back with you. We're going to be having a little bit more fun here very, very soon. Anyway, if you made it this far, my goodness gracious, you are the electric inside of my plug. As awkward as that may sound. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. This is Shane for Shane's Books and Review. I'm not sure which one of these videos over here YouTube's going to want you to see. But if you pick this one or this one, maybe I will see you in the next video.